Hello internet, my name's Lave and I watched A Monster Calls and it's taken me 2 or 3 days to recover from it, if I'm honest. I'm not ashamed to admit that I had a real lump in my throat, tears streaming down my face. It's a profoundly sad story, but I absolutely loved it. So this film is about a boy called Connor who's going through a tough time in his life. Not only is he getting bullied at school, his parents have also split up. His dad now lives in the US and his mum, who he lives with, is fighting a terminal illness. And because of this, he's faced with the prospect of living with his grandmother, who he doesn't particularly get along with. So as a coping mechanism and a way to escape from all of his problems, he imagines a monster tree-like thing visiting him to help him comprehend his feelings. Now, I have to confess I haven't read the source material, but I did do a bit of research and found out that it was originally an idea by a writer called Siobhan Dowd, who passed away from cancer before she could complete it. So another writer called Patrick Ness stepped in to complete it on her behalf, and he also did the screenplay for this film. And I truly believe that him and director J.A. Bayona, who has also directed films like The Orphanage and The Impossible, have created a genuine work of art. I think this film is a supreme addition to the escapism genre in the vein of Alice in Wonderland and more recent films like Where the Wild Things Are and Pan's Labyrinth. And I believe that a lot of the production team who worked on Pan's Labyrinth also worked on this, and you can really see it. But for me, A Monster Calls is so powerfully affecting, more so than those other films, because it's so relatable. I think anyone who has ever lost a friend or family member to this fucking thing we call cancer will absolutely agree. And I think that the filmmakers should be absolutely praised for not sugarcoating it and handling that subject matter in a really tasteful way. So let's talk about some performances. I thought newcomer Lewis MacDougall was absolutely fantastic as Connor. Child actors can really derail films for me, but honestly, veteran actors would struggle with the complexities of the emotions that this kid portrays throughout this film, which ranges from sadness to loneliness and anger, and in particular guilt. He absolutely nails it, and I completely bought the mother-son relationship with Felicity Jones, who is known only as Mum until the very last scene. I thought her performance was really graceful, and some of the scenes that they share, oh god, when Connor says to her at one point, "This is the talk," oh my god, here we go again. I also really like Toby Kebbell as his dad, who comes back from the US to try and help out where he can. It's really nice to see him playing a normal guy as opposed to a CGI ape or orc or a campy villain or a crackhead. The only performances I had slight niggles with is maybe the main bully, who is the poshest bully I think I've ever seen, and also Sigourney Weaver, who's playing Grandma in this. She's obviously got an English accent which is a bit wobbly at first, but overall I think the performance is fine. I was completely satisfied with her character's arc and the resolution of that character. And then of course you got Liam Neeson, who does interestingly pop up in some photographs as a different character, but he's obviously playing the monster. What can I say? He just has got a great voice, and I think it has been tweaked a little to make it a little bit more gravelly, but I think it's perfect casting, and you can really see his performance come through in the animation of the tree monster. But I have to point out that if you remove the monster character and the entire fantasy element, this film would still work as a very powerful drama. And again, I think everyone involved in the production of this film should be praised for that. But it is a fantasy drama, and I think the fantasy element does complement the dramatic side of the film beautifully, especially as it goes kind of another level deep with some really gorgeous animations, which I think are a mix of 3D and 2D and water ink art. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I know a lot of people think that the animation stops the film in its tracks, but I disagree. I think it complements it beautifully. It's in these moments when Connor learns some life lessons, and it's really exploring his psyche as he's trying to comprehend his feelings, and it all builds to an emotional peak when he has to confront the truth. Whoa indeed. So that's my thoughts on A Monster Calls, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. If you can't tell, I really, really like this film, and I think if you like film or animation or art, then I think you will like it too. Yes, it's a profoundly sad story, and it might be a little bit too raw for some people. I know I was talking to my parents, and my mum said that she wasn't interested in seeing this because she just doesn't like those films. That's completely understandable, but I do worry that this film isn't going to perform well at the box office. I know it's going to do well with the critics, but if people don't go and see it, I think that will be a crying shame, because this is a genuine work of art. So thanks very much for watching my review. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give this video a like, and don't forget to share the Lave. Honestly, when this film finished, I was like that crying dad YouTube video that went viral a few years ago.